Alright. Question. Alexandre Lepro asks, are you going to do a face reveal? Well, here it is. That's my face. Alright, next question. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, but he asks, how did you learn about electronics? Well, I actually learned from my father. He did electronics when he was young as well. Well, I don't think I'm ever going to stop to make things with electronics, but that's how it is. The basics I learned from books, but later most of what I know I just researched the internet, the almighty information source, as always. Alright, question. SansSimV asks, what is your favorite animal-based touhou character? Well, that must be Momoyo. I just like the centipede design. It's super cool. Alright, next question. SansSimV asks another question. If you could mod games, would you add touhou characters / themes into them? Well, that's a good question. Actually, if I wasn't that occupied doing electronic stuff, I would probably go more into the software direction. But as it is, I don't have much time or knowledge to do something like that. Still, if I could do it, I would definitely do it. So that's that. Alright, question. SansSimV asks again, what convinced you to push yourself on YouTube? Well, it was just I wanted to show off my projects and I never thought I would get so far, so I'm into it now. Here I am making a Q&A for 300 subscribers. Thank you very much. Alright, question. Marisa, son from Momiji V2 asks, have you ever played touhou 14.3 Impossible Spell Card? If no, are you going to do a full gameplay for us? Well, I actually have played touhou 14.3 Impossible Spell Card, and it's a fun game. I really like it, so probably in my touhou 1cc guide series I'm going to include it and do a analysis and breakdown of it. So look forward to it. The Fallen One asks, when did you get interested in hakkeros? Well, I would say as soon as I knew it existed, and it was pretty mysterious for me at the beginning on my touhou journey, so I saw it and I searched if there were any replicas on the internet. I just saw some basic stuff people did, so I thought, hey, this could be an interesting challenge for me because I have all these skills in stock, and I thought, well, let's do it. Well, and now I'm here. Alright, here are multiple questions from Metaneo. He asks, how long does the battery of the hakkero last? Well, that's not a straightforward answer. I'm sorry. We can do a bit of math to determine an estimate how long it lasts. The battery on the hakkero is 2400 milliamp hours, and on the brightest pattern it draws about 2.5 amps, so it would last a bit under 1 hour. But there is a catch, it only draws 2 amps, 2.5 amps when the battery is full. As it discharges, it gets a bit lower, so it's more like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. All the other patterns probably last longer, but I don't know the exact number, so I would guess 3 hours at best for the other patterns. The demo mode should last a long time, maybe 10 hours, something like that. Well, the next question is it easy to charge? Well, in fact it is very easy to charge. Just USB-C, plug it in, and that's it. Turn it on, it's charging. See the red line, it's charging. And the last question is, will you show off the code in a video? Well, code is boring, you know. it's nothing special, but if someone requests it, I can make a video about the code, no problem.
Neo asks another question. Is the hakkero still for sale, or am I too late? Well, you are never too late. I make these on request, so if you want a hakkero, if there is not one for sale, I can just make one for you. It's just going to take a bit of time. So that's that question answered.
Alright, question. Neo asks, did you ever think to make the hakkero make sounds like with a speaker? Well, I actually did, and I was going to use the sound recorder module voice MP3 wave music player with loudspeaker button control, 8MB RAM capacity, DIY music box for greeting card module from AliExpress, but at the end there was too little space and it would not fit inside, so I couldn't do it. That's that. Next question. Alright, question. Neo asks, did you ever think of painting the hakkero and not showing the wood grain? Well, actually, yes. At the beginning, I didn't know what wood I was going to use, so I thought about making a pattern, painting a pattern on the hakkero, which I can show off on the screen somewhere, if I can do it in the editing. But considering I had so much of the olive wood that has such a nice grain pattern, then I thought, man, this actually already looks like painted patterns. So at the end I thought, well, this is good enough, and I made it like that. So that's that question. Alright, question. SansSimV asks, how expensive is it to make a hakkero? Well, the parts to make a hakkero actually aren't that expensive. The most expensive part are the batteries and these LEDs. Those are the most expensive. Then we have the power LED and the SMD components for the boost converter and the LED driver. Then we have the buttons, the screws and the screw inserts. And that's pretty much it. Also the reflector, which I recycle from old LED lamps. And of course, what takes the most work is the woodwork, of course. And not to forget the charge controller, which are these modules here. And I would say the parts cost for one hakkero is about 50 euros, more or less. I think a bit more. It's more like 70 euros for one hakkero. But of course, the work I put into this is pretty high, so I have to crank up the price at the end. So that's about the cost of the hakkero. That answers that question. Alright, next question.
SansSimV asks, if you were in Gensokyo, which religious group would you join if you would join one? Well, I would probably stay neutral, actually. Next question.
SansSimV asks, what is your least favorite touhou character? Okay, simple answer. I hope that answers that. Next question.
SansSimV asks another question. What is your favorite weapon in the touhou lore? Well, that's a complicated question. Most weapons in the touhou lore are not really mainstream, as I like to say it, because they are very obscure. So I'm just going to say the simple answer. It's Marisa's hakkero, obviously. It has probably the most open lore, and it's also the most used weapon, so that's that. Question. Cosmicpolis asks, do you play any RPGs, and which one is your favorite? Well, I have to say, I don't have much time to play any RPGs. I also don't find them fun. I find them mostly, you know what I mean, but that's just my opinion. So if for my RPG fans out there, I'm sorry. It's all good. It's just not for me.
Alright, question. Parvone Kokonen asks, what is your favorite Touhou game and why? Yes, I take any excuse any day to start Touhou 7. Yes, Touhou 7 is my favorite game. There's a few reasons. The main reason being another question that I'm going to answer after this one. But I can say from the Touhou games, you could say there is a Touhou game for every preference of a person. And Touhou 7 just ticks off all the checks for my favorite Touhou game. That's why I could list a few things like the setting, the music, the characters, the story. Yeah, the music is a big reason why, also the aesthetic of the game. But also the circumstances I started playing this game. It never left me. It's just always been the most impactful game for me, so that's also a reason why it's my favorite game. And the next reason being, which is a question that is right here. So, Metaneo asks, what is the first Touhou game you have played and what is your favorite character? Again, the first Touhou game I've played is Touhou 7. That's also why it's my favorite game. I have learned most of my bullet hell skill from this game. Also, my favorite character comes from this game. Also, my favorite stage comes from this game. Yeah, it's just my soul game. I could play it for hours, which I have. Also, most of my inspiration came from this game. Man, it's just amazing the care that was put into the Touhou games in general. You can, if you search for inspiration, you can just look at Touhou. You can find everything you need. Alright, coming back to the question. What is my favorite character? Well, it's Yuyuko, of course, the final boss. Not surprising. It's one of the most impactful final bosses, you could say. Also, the backstory of Yuyuko fits me. And the design. It's just a bit of everything, which makes me enjoy it and enjoy Yuyuko as a character. She had a big change becoming a ghost. I also had a big change in my life from the beginning to now, so I can relate. That's probably the main reason I can relate to the character. So, I'm going to choose a nice background here, so let's fly through this. Here we go. Yuyuko time. What can I say? It's just a unique boss fight in all circumstances. There has never been something like this ever again. Well, I think the closest would be Byakuren as a boss fight. You also have the how can I say it? The profound music, the setting, the stakes. It's the same here. But what takes it away is obviously the resurrection at the end. It's just an all-out incredible experience when you play this for the first time. And as I said before, it never left me. This is part of me by this point. I think that answers that. Alright, question. Cosmicpolis asks, what is your favorite spell card background? Along the official Touhou games, obviously. Or simply cite a few spell card backgrounds you like. You don't have to cite a favorite. Well, I actually have a favorite spell card background. And it is in Touhou 18. Yes. You will probably be pretty surprised what spell card background it is, because it's pretty simple, but I really like it. So here we go, Touhou 18. Let's see if I can find it relatively quickly. There we go. Here we are. No, I need to go to the spell practice, of course. Stage 1. And there we go. Yes, it's the spell background from the first spell card. I like this spell background. I don't know why, but it's probably just the simplicity with the effect. This effect from the distortion, the wave effect, makes it look really interesting. Well, that's that question answered. Next question. Alright, question. Cosmicpolis asks another question. Did you play any Touhou fan games? Are there any that stood out to you? Well, of course I play Touhou fan games. I'm a Touhou fan after all. Well, I can say Touhou Luna Nights, this game, which has a complicated name, and Udonks, which there's a good reason why I like this game. I actually started playing the Mega Man X series, and this game is pretty much that, but Touhou themed. So of course this is one that is on my favorite list. I can show off a bit here. This always has been a funny throwback to me. I'm probably going to make a stream of this game one day. With also funny racing. Well, actually this feels more like the Mega Man Zero controls more than the X controls, so what you can say, this is probably the fan game that stood out for me the most. Well, that's that question answered. Next question.
Alright, question. SansSimV asks, what would you do with your favorite Touhou character? Well, that's a good question. Considering that Yuyuko is a ghost, I couldn't do much with her, right? And also, there would need to be a lot of supernatural changes in this world, so that actually would be possible. So I don't really have a good answer for that. Next question.
Alright, question. Cosmicpolis asks, have I considered making Yuyuko's fan? I'm surprised you didn't do it already. Well, it's not that simple. Making fans is not that easy. The most complicated part would be making the actual, how's it called, the fabric with the design on it. I don't really have found a way to do that at the moment, so it's going to take a bit till I make Yuyuko's fan, but I will probably do it at some point. Alright, next question. Cosmicpolis asks another question. With which Touhou character do you think would you have the most interesting conversation about electronics? Well, that's a very specific question, but I can say probably Nitori, but also Pacholi. I think she has so much books. She surely has a book about electronics, right? But I don't know. I think with Nitori it would be more about mechanical stuff, right? Because Nitori is more of a mechanic than a electronics person, you could say. There is not many characters that are really technical in Touhou, so it probably answers that. Alright, question. Boxoman Biko asks, how did you get into Touhou and how do you get inspiration to make these things? Well, the second question is obvious. I get the inspiration from Touhou, but how I did get into Touhou, that's a bit more interesting. I would say it was because of this integrated circuit right here, this one, the SN76489. This is a sound IC. You can make music with it, 8-bit music. So one day I was searching in my integrated circuit box, and I found this one, which I hadn't seen in for the time. You know, it was still when I was new to the electronics components, and I searched the stashes from my father, and I found it, and I searched it on the internet. Well, and it appeared that it was a sound IC, and I was really interested. So I searched on YouTube for some examples what the IC could do. Well, I found a video. I'm going to put the video here on the screen, and you will understand immediately. When you see this, the cover of this song, well, the rest was history. Next question.
Meta Neo asks, what's your plans for the future? Well, the future is far, so I can't really know what I'm going to do, but I'm probably going to continue making content and hopefully grow this channel and have a nice community. Also, show some interesting stuff for you all. It's really exciting, so the future is a secret, or how would you say it? It's a mystery. That's what it is. Okay, question. Bappe asks, when are you going to do the how to rizz up the ladies in your neighborhood video? Well, do you see any ladies in the neighborhood?